Strengthening international solidarity was among first priorities for nations to cope with economic headwinds and make way for stronger recovery. The statement was made by Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính while attending the ongoing World Economic Forum 14th annual meeting of the new champions in Tianjin, China on Tuesday.
Addressing a session on braving the headwinds, rewiring growth amid fragility, moderated by World Economic Forum President Bob Berlihind, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính said that there were 6 types of headwinds which were hindering global development and Vietnam development in particular. The sessions were the first discussion of the 3-day World Economic Forum Tianjin, also called Summer Davos, which focused on the theme of entrepreneurship, a driver of the world economy. Speaking at the event, Prime Minister stressed that it was essential to take a global and an entire people approach. He stressed that strengthening global solidarity, promoting multilateralism, and putting the people at the heart of development was the first priority. No countries can address the global challenges alone, he said. Vietnamese leader also shared experiences and lessons of Vietnam from the fight against the pandemic and the process of recovering the economy. He affirmed that Vietnam continued to focus on 3 strategic breakthroughs in infrastructures, institutions, and human resources.
Vietnam will be a key driver of global trade growth, with exports projected to reach $680 billion by 2030, an annual growth rate of 7%. This information was released in the Future of Trade, New Opportunities in High Growth Corridor research report by Standard Chartered. The report projects that global trade is set to reach $32.6 trillion with a growth rate of 5% by 2030. Trade corridor anchored in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East will outpace global trade growth rate by up to 4 percentage points, driving combined trade volume in this region is $14.4 trillion to account for 40% of global trade by 2030. Mainland China, South Korea, and the US are expected to be Vietnam's key trade partners in the coming years. Meanwhile, trade with India, Singapore, and Indonesia is forecast to experience robust growth from 2021 to 2030. Growing global demand for electric investment and sustainability initiative will drive Vietnam's key exports. Over the past 5 months of this year, foreign investment registered in the country reached nearly $11 billion. The statistic released by the Ministry of Planning and Investment Foreign Investment Agency showed that Vietnam remained an attractive destination for foreign companies.
Despite a decline in global investment flows, Vietnam remained an attractive destination for foreign companies, especially large-scale ones. According to experts, global giants including Sembcorp Industries, Hyun Sung Group, and Dosan Mobility consider Vietnam as their strategic market. Over the past 5 months of this year, foreign investment registered in the countries reached nearly $10.86 billion, up 10.6% month-on-month, according to the Ministry of Planning and Investment's Foreign Investment Agency. Of the sum, more than $5.26 billion was injected into 962 new projects, representing year-on-year increase of 27.8% in value and 66.4% in number.
Ho Chi Minh City, France region to team up in economy, heritage, conservations. Diverse activities to mark 50 years of Vietnam-Malaysia diplomatic relations. Ho Chi Minh City and Île-de-France regions have agreed to work together in studying and building specific cooperation programs in economic development and heritage conservation. The agreement was reached at a June 26th meeting in Paris between the regional council and Ho Chi Minh City delegations.
Secretary of Ho Chi Minh City Party Committee Nguyễn Văn Nên, leading the municipal delegation, said that France has so far invested in approximately 300 projects worth over 310 million euro in Ho Chi Minh City, pledging further favorable conditions for French investors. He also informed France host on the development of his metropolis, which is earmarked to become the nucleus of the southern Vietnamese key economic region. Ho Chi Minh City houses many architectures built from the French colonial period and ancient villas, which are the subjects of its conservation efforts to preserve the local cultural values and draw tourists. The French side emphasized its support for these plans, affirming that it will consider team up with the city's agency to set up groups of technical experts to evaluate specific needs and capabilities of both parties.
The Vietnamese Embassy in Malaysia, in collaboration with the Malaysia-Vietnam Friendship Association, unveiled a series of activities to mark the 50th anniversary of the diplomatic ties between Vietnam and Malaysia.
This beautiful occasion, a new milestone between Malaysia and Vietnam.
Addressing the event, Vietnamese ambassador to Malaysia Dinh Ngọc Linh emphasized that bilateral cooperation has been further consolidated across multi fields over the past 50 years. Both countries moved to upgrade their relations to a strategic partnership in 2015. The Vietnamese diplomat went on to express his belief that mutual ties will continue to grow in the stronger manners in the future. Representative from the Malaysia-Vietnam Friendship Association said both countries share plenty of similarities in terms of culture.
Malaysia-Vietnam Friendship Association will do better toward the economic ties between the two countries' businesses. And what we do now is just about the targeting that agreed between the government is just about the 28 billion.
Under the auspices of the Vietnamese Embassy in Malaysia, the Malaysia-Vietnam Friendship Association plans to organize a series of activities such as boat racing, football competition, a Vietnamese Day in Malaysia, and a number of trade fairs.